Are you sure?
I'm sure.
Does it have a red button?
Yeah.
Okay, go.
It's gonna like 10 seconds, 11 seconds
Okay.
right now.
Welcome, second graders, to our reading class today. Before we start, I want you to take a look at this picture. I want you to name some characteristics in this picture.
Sun.
You see the sun?
Cloud.
Cloud.
Fire.
Fire. Good.
Water.
What about you, Catherine?
The sky.
See the sky?
Tent.
And the tent.
Storm.
What do you do when you use a tent?
Camping.
Camping, right. Has anyone gone camping before?
Yeah.
Sheila, what have you done at camping?
We've done, we cooked s'mores, we had to put our bags up in the tree so the bears wouldn't eat our food.
So the bears are at camping also?
Yes, big bears.
Big bears?
Big bears. We told stories.
Told stories?
Yeah.
What other activities have you guys done at camping? Sheila? Catherine?
I went whitewater rafting when I went camping.
Yes.
Is that like a thing, or
It is.
do you want
Yeah.
to know like
No,
what you
yeah,
did when I
that's
was
exactly,
camping?
that's an activity that you do while you're camping. Anybody else been camping and other activities you've done?
Hike and sick.
Hiking and swimming? Yeah.
Cooking.
Coaching and eating? That's good. Great. Now we're going to look at another picture. So this book is called Danny and the Dinosaur Go to Camp. Has anyone ever seen dinosaurs while they've been camping? Are dinosaurs real now?
No. They're all dead.
They're all dead. So they used to be alive, but now they're dead. So we wouldn't see dinosaurs camping anymore, would we? Well, we are going to read this book, and we are going to see the different activities that Danny and the dinosaur have gone. And I want you to think about the characters that you notice in this book, the setting, which we've talked about is camping, and also the plot of the story. Okay. So Danny went to camp for the summer. He took along his friend the dinosaur. Camp is fun. You will enjoy it, said Danny. Thanks, I needed a vacation, said the dinosaur. Welcome, said the camp owner. You're the first dinosaur we have ever had here. Lana, the leader, said, let's start with the race. On your mark, get set, go. The dinosaur took a step. You win, shouted Danny. Why do you guys think the dinosaur took one step and he won the race? Because he's so big, he only had to take one big step and he was there, huh? Right. The children played football, the dinosaur ran with the ball, and nobody could stop him. Touchdown, shouted Danny. Lana took everybody to the lake. Here is where we row our boats, she said. The children rowed the little boats. Danny rowed the dinosaur. So kind of what Catherine said, she did the White River rafting, but it doesn't look like the water is too rough here. It was time for lunch. Please pass the ketchup, said Danny. Of course, just as soon as I finish the bottle, said the dinosaur. So they're eating, like you guys said that they eat at camp. After lunch, everybody wrote letters home. Please send me my own ketchup, Danny wrote. Send me a pizza, wrote the dinosaur. Now, let's go on a hike, said Lana. And everybody followed her. See, so now they're going hiking. We said you go hiking when you go camping as well. Then Danny got tired and climbed on the dinosaur. Wait for us, we're tired too, shouted the children. Hold tight, said the dinosaur. The dinosaur even carried Lana. So Lana's the instructor. It got dark. Everybody sat around the campfire. Lana gave out toasted marshmallows. Here, have all you want, she said. Thanks, but I don't have room for more, said Danny. I have room, said the dinosaur. The dinosaur's so big. It was time for bed. I can't wait to get under the covers, said Danny. Me too, said the dinosaur. But the dinosaur's bunk was too small for him. He took a pillow and went outside. Wake me up for breakfast, said the dinosaur, and he fell asleep on the ground. Good night, said Danny. Okay, so who were some of the characters that we noticed in this book?
Dinosaur.
We got the dinosaur, Danny,
It's director.
the camp director. Okay,
Instructor.
so those were the three main characters that were talked about in this book. What was the setting? The camping. What types? The things that we had talked about, right?
Hiking.
They're hiking, swimming. So the setting is out in maybe an open field during the daytime and nighttime. So that was the setting of the story. What about the plot? You don't know the plot yet? No? Okay, that's what we're going to be learning about today. The three main elements of a story, which is characters, setting, and plots. To have a good knowledge of these elements in a story, it kind of sets the mood for a story, the tone, and it kind of gives the readers an idea of how the story is. So the outcomes, can I have Sheila, can you read the first outcome, please?
Sure. Learners will be able to identify the story element of characters, plot, and setting of the short story called Danny and the Dinosaurs Go to Camp. Learners will read another short story and create a mind map of characters, plot, and setting of the story to present to the class.
Thank you. So we've touched already how to find characters and plot and settings, and we're going to go into more throughout the lesson, and we're going to learn how to tell what a plot is. Thank you. Okay. So, Kelly, can I have you read the first one?
Okay. Character. A participant in the story.
A participant in the story. As we have up here, I noted some of like the Disney characters that you've seen in movies. So we have Goofy, Mickey, Minnie Mouse, and Donald Duck. Can you guys think of any other characters from any books or movies that you can think of right now? Dora from Dora the Explorer. Okay. Anything else?
Cinderella.
Cinderella. She's the main character in that story.
Snow White.
Snow White. Good. Yeah. What are some of the other characters in Snow White?
Like 7.
The dwarves.
Yeah.
Okay. What about you, Catherine?
I named my dog after Pluto.
That's so funny.
Okay. So all of these characters come usually from one story. Obviously, there's other stories that have branched off from it, but from one storyline, this is the characters in there. Can I have you read the plot, please?
The storyline, ordering of events and action of the story.
So through the plot, the storyline, ordering of events and actions of the story. Do we know the book Goldilocks and the Three Bears? Yeah. Well, I can tell you the plot of that story was Goldilocks was a little girl and she got lost in the woods and she went to this little cabin. It happened to be Three Bears' cabin. She tried to eat their porridge. She tried to sit in their chairs. She ended up sleeping in their beds. And when the bears came home, they found her in their beds sleeping. And when she woke up, she saw them and she was scared and she ran off. And that's the basic idea of the story. So that would be the plot, what I just said. Sheila, can you read the settings?
Okay. That is the time of the story, often a real place, where and when stories take place.
So the setting, I have a picture over here. It's Snoopy, and it says it was a dark and stormy night. The setting is just basically telling you what kind of environment that the story is taking place. So like The Little Mermaid, it takes place in the ocean. Danny and the Dinosaur, it took place at camp. Can anyone think of other settings that stories start off in?
Snow White or the forest.
In the forest, okay, good.
Harry Potter is at Hogwarts.
Right, that's exactly right. It's a fictional place, but it's still
The setting.
where the story took setting in. Okay, cool. So now we're going to get into a group. We're only gonna get into this one group because we don't have many people. We're going to, when I say go, I want you to grab a necklace that is over here. It has your task on it, so you can put it on your neck, and you can grab whichever one you want. And on the back, it says the direction of what your job is. We're going to read to each other your roles descriptions in the back. The leader will pick up the story from me. I have the story on here, but don't grab anything else, but just the story. The reader, who is assigned to be the reader, will read the story. You will discuss who were the characters, what was the plot setting, what was the setting and the plot. The leader will then get the paper and the markers and bring them back to your group. And then we'll be creating a mind map of the characters, setting, and plot, and we will be presenting the mind map. So as we get through each step, I'll reiterate each one. Now can I have you guys come up here and grab a roll, and the leader grab the story, please. And it might be helpful if we get into a little circle so you guys are closer together and you work together. The materials that we need to present.
Create poster.
So let's start with Catherine. Which role did you get and what is your description of this?
I'm the reader, so I read the story.
Oh.
I'm the summarizer. Prepare summary of the story after story is read.
Presenter. Presents finished work. I am recorder and create the poster. Use everyone's ideas.
I am the leader. I get the materials. Got it.
Good
You
job.
left it off.
Does anyone have any questions?
I'm done. No, I haven't gotten left.
I got it, the discussion. Are there any questions about your roles? No? Okay. So you can start reading and yes.
Okay. Barnaby Frog has a busy day. I think that's his name. Okay. Hitting a high note, Barnaby looked straight up into the sky. Suddenly he stopped singing. There, hovering high above, in the sky was a great white orc. The orc would gobble up a little frog like Barnaby for breakfast. Barnaby jumped for the nearest cupboard. This just happened to be an upturned milk bucket. From under the bucket, Barnaby saw Daisy Maisie the milkmaid coming to milk Butter Bop Pop the cow. She would take the bucket away. Barnaby needed another place to hide. He hopped as hard as he could. 1 hop, 2 hops, 3 hops. Barnaby made it to the safety of Percy the pig's water trough. The great white orc circled overhead in the sky. Hearing the splash of the water, Percy the pig remembered he was thirsty and came running towards the water trough. Barnaby saw Percy running up very fast and looking very thirsty. Barnaby did not want to be sucked up inside Percy. Barnaby swam, then leapt quite high. He spotted a dish of water nearby. Not the best place to hide, small and quite cold. An old frying pan the farmer threw out. Barnaby was wondering what he should do, when Percy the pig came running right through. Percy's back leg hit the frying pan's handle, sent Barnaby Frog out with a tumble. Never had Barnaby flown so high, would he thought, end up bumping the sky. The great white orc saw his breakfast ascending. He put back his wings to swoop on poor Barnaby. Barnaby Frog, he started to fall, but the great white orc was gaining. Nothing could stop him. He would catch the little Barnaby, there was no doubt. Suddenly then, with a great big splash, Barnaby landed in the farmyard pond. Barnaby hid in the weed and the stones deep at the bottom of the farmyard pond. That, thought Barnaby, who would not move, was quite enough excitement for one fine day. The end.
Okay, thank you, Catherine. So now I want you guys, I'll have the leader get the rest of the materials, the markers and the paper. We'll discuss, you guys can discuss as a group. First, I want you to discuss as a group who are the characters in the story, with the plot or the events and actions that were in the story, and talk about the setting. And then once your discussion is over, then Sheila, you can get the materials.
Okay.
Okay.
So,
Does she need to be taken notes or not yet?
They'll be easier with the.
Oh, you can make this.
So it's that one?
Yeah.
So you can
Sorry.
we
Yeah,
should
it's-
probably, like, be next to that. Or we could bring it
Yeah,
up.
or should bring it. You can bring it in the middle.
I've got more.
And when creating a mind map, you can use this as a reference of what a mind map is. Your main
I
idea.
don't know how to do it.
Your main idea will be like the title of the story, and then you can branch out and talk about the characters, setting, and the plot. How about that?
that's it.
Yeah, there's only 3, so.
Okay.
Okay, so in the middle, we should probably put Barnaby Frog has a busy day.
My handwriting is so hard. Beautiful.
And you guys can also add pictures to this if you want to help her add some pictures.
So front.
Okay, and then the
So
setting.
just read.
Character
Just-
first.
Let's do characters. Mm-hmm. Barnaby.
Oh. So it's Barnaby and frog.
Yeah.
Just Barnaby is the frog.
You can just put frog if you want.
I like the word Barnaby.
So cute.
Okay.
I think we have more characters.
Yeah.
Oh,
There's
oh.
the
So you
great
just
white
like
orc.
branch know, like what they're saying.
Okay. So like we do the orc. O-R-K. He's the bird in the sky that wants to eat him.
He's a bird.
Yeah.
He.
Oh yeah. And then there's Percy the pig.
Mercy
Percy P. Yeah.
is a pig.
Yes.
It's not the train,
Do we have more? What about the farmer?
Oh, we don't know the farmer. There's Daisy Maisie, the milkmaid.
Yeah. They're so lonely.
You can just write Daisy.
Easy.
Was there a cow? Oh yeah, Butterboss the cow. Butterfly.
So the cow's name is Butterfly.
Yeah.
It's so weird.
So were all of these characters the main characters, or was there one in particular that was the main character?
Barney.
Good
That's
job.
why he's in a circle.
Good
Yeah.
job.
Okay, let's
Okay,
do the
and then
plot.
it's plots. There is this one of plots.
He's trying to
Find the stage.
yeah, to not be eaten.
And what happened every time he thought he found a safe spot?
It wasn't a safe spot.
Something would come and keep him out.
Trying to find a safe place.
And it was never safe.
It was and then
Oh,
something
is that
like
good?
that. Disturb him to find
Can I say boom?
Very nice penmanship. It's nice.
Setting?
Okay.
You need to put the conclusion.
No, it's kind of like the plot is kind of just actions and events that lead up to it, but it's not quite the conclusion yet. Yes.
Con?
Yeah.
Nature.
So you could say like farm and then you can put like the other places that he was.
So the main place is farm.
Because the pond is on the farm.
Yeah, because setting is usually where the book kind of starts. And you guys can add pictures if you want, or we just
Yeah.
And picture over here.
Yeah. Frog.
I don't know what to do.
Just cut that.
I will help you.
Let's do the Barnaby. You just copied it.
Yeah.
So cute. I'm not good at it.
You're supposed to be singing.
That looks just like it.
Oh,
Yay! Good teamwork. Okay, so now we will have our presenter present our
Cafe.
So, from this story,
Yeah.
so from this story, we have all characters, Stacy, initial. Oh yes, sorry. So, yeah, Stacy is farmer, and then the main character is Barnaby, and also Hawk is the bird, and then Casey is the pig, and then cow. So this one is character, and this side is setting. So this one is farmer, and also the palm, and this one is Paul and Brian.
Barnaby.
Sorry.
Barnaby trying to find a safe place, but it was never safe. So something happened. That's why I can't describe him.
Thank you.
Oh.
That was awesome.
Yeah.
You guys can go back to your seats.
Yeah.
Okay.
Is that the passenger?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's it.
Okay, like,
You can even keep
Fair
these
enough.
if you want.
Okay.
It's so cute.
You don't have to.
Souvenir.
Yeah.
Okay, so now we have gone over the setting, the plot, and the characters, which are the three main elements of a story. When I say go, I want you to turn to your partner. If you're in groups of three, that works also. And I want you to tell them the three elements of a story of your choice. So like we had done in the beginning, but now that you have a better understanding of these three elements, I want you guys to take a couple minutes and talk with each other. And then just share, go back and forth for a couple minutes. And go.
Story is
I don't know. I don't think you guys talking about. Okay, anyways, there's this wonderful boy. His name is Harry Potter.
Setting.
Yes.
I know Harry. So Harry Potter would be
The main character, and then the other supporting characters are Hermione and Ron, his best friend. And they go on adventures, but mostly the main setting
your
is
story?
the school, which is
which
Hogwarts.
characters did you choose?
And basically the plot
Choose a story
is
and tell her
that
the character, setting, and plot in it.
it's
Choose a fuck.
when he was a baby, Voldemort,
Yeah, and
the other
then the
main
setting
character, but he's
is,
the antagonist.
Uh,
He's trying to hurt Harry
just
Potter his entire life
the birds
because
came and then
there was a prophecy that
make a breakfast.
he was a great
That's fine,
wizard,
thank
and there was a prophecy that
You need to
another great
find a
wizard
place
would
to
destroy
hide
him,
it.
and he didn't want that, so he tried to kill him when he was a baby. Yeah, and it didn't work because his mom and his parents protected him. And so this whole time, Voldemort, the bad guy, is trying to hurt Harry Potter because he never succeeded the first time. And so that's the whole plot. And then,
Right, like,
yeah, basically. I mean, just in different ways. I never really realized until I said it out loud. Yeah, it's just essentially that's what they were doing the whole time. It's just through different ways, and then eventually Harry Potter kills Voldemort when he was 20.
so now like there's the end. There's
Yeah.
no one, is there one? How many do you have?
7, so you go to Hogwarts for 7 years, so you're a year 1, a year 2, just like how you're a sophomore and junior. So each book is his year. So the book 1 is his first year at Hogwarts, and the last one is his last one.
Okay, I would like us to wrap up our conversation. Thank you all for being so cooperative and participating in this, and I hope that you, just kidding, I want you for next class to, for homework, I want you to write down, in your own words what a character, plot, and setting is, and bring that to